Like it's been the biggest holdout guy of the offseason this year has been Dalvin Cook. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Last year, the
He
biggest
hasn't
name
held
was.
out. I don't understand. I guess is
Well,
what
he
I'm
hasn't
saying.
hold out because the season hasn't started yet, Brady.
What's up, Fackers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill 101, counting down the top 101 fantasy football players for the 2020 season. Number 7 on our countdown is running back for the Minnesota Vikings, Dalvin Cook. He is our 6th ranked running back. Last year, he finished as running back number 6.
Oh,
He
shit.
had 250 carries for 1,135 yards and 13 touchdowns. He also added 53 catches for 519 yards. He scored 272.9 fantasy points, an average of 19.5 points per game. All right, so he finished as running back number 6, but he missed the last 2 games of the season. He was running back 2 through week 14, so in the games he played, he was running back number 2. Still miles behind Christian McCaffrey, but he was that second-ranked running back, so he was very good last year. Finally had almost a full season. He's been injury-prone before that. Matt can tell you all about that. He's Matt's boy. The reason he was so valuable, he had 15 carries inside the 5-yard line. That was good enough for 3rd in the NFL last year, and he scored at least 1 touchdown in 11 of his 14 games that he played. But the big question mark coming into the year, is he going to hold out? Is he the next holdout guy? We had Melvin Gordon last year. Is Dalvin Cook going to hold out? I know he's been at practice, but there's still rumors of him maybe still worried about the contract situation. So if that happens, a name you're going to hear a lot, and you probably better own him if you draft Dalvin Cook, is Alexander Madison, his handcuff.
CJ Hand. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, Madison.
Yeah.
Well, Brett's yawning. I'll speak on the holdout real quick because I think I said in another video that I don't know if it's changed yet, but if you do hold out this season, you don't gain that year on your contract. So basically, you have to come back again for that year. And if you get fined during that time, you still have to pay that fine money. When in the past, usually teams would just waive the money that you've been fined when you come back. This time, you actually have to pay it.
So you're saying it doesn't
Why are
make
y'all
much
worried
sense to hold
though?
out?
He already showed up to training camp. Like,
There's still
There's still
rumors out there.
some. I mean, he's still unhappy.
well, obviously, but what gives you the impression that he would even hold out?
I'm not saying he would hold out. I'm just saying there is still that just like their little level of uncertainty there. Like he could
Fournette
still
could hold
choose
out
not
too,
to.
right?
But there hasn't been
Right,
reports
right,
coming
yeah.
out.
Like it's
Okay.
been the biggest holdout guy of the offseason this year has been Dalvin Cook. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Last year, the
He
biggest
hasn't
name
held
was.
out. I don't understand. I guess is
Well,
what
he
I'm
hasn't
saying.
hold out because the season hasn't started yet, Brady.
Yeah, but he showed up to training camp.
That could
Most
just be to
holdouts
make
don't
sure
show
he's in
up.
shape. Like he could still choose not to play.
I'm not really worried about it. I'm taking Dalvin Cook, number 5 overall. If I'm 5, I'm happy with it. I'm either getting him or Kamara, and he is one of the last guys I think maybe Derrick Henry you can make a case for to finish RB1. He's one of the last guys who has that potential. He should get some more receiving touchdowns this year. He had 0 last
Yeah.
year. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I understand he had
the rushing touchdowns will come down maybe a little bit.
Like you said, they're
maybe.
trusting him inside the red zone in the 5-yard line. It's not like they're giving the ball to Madison. And like he was top 5 in both categories, red zone and inside the 5.
But when they traded Diggs, I think the Vikings sent a message that Cook and Thielen are their offensive weapons. And I mean, Cook got the majority of the workload last year, obviously, and Alexander Madison is decent, but Cook's the guy there. There's really no competition. And I mean, they have a very easy schedule coming up this year, and I just feel like where you're going to be able to get him at 5 or 6, like there's tons of value there. Like he has potential to finish number 1 overall.
He might be the best fit for like a running back offensive coordinator combination. Like Gary Kubiak and
Yes.
his zone blocking scheme. You saw with Arian Foster too. Like they're both like one cut guys, very good at the backfield receiving. He just fits it so well. Like it's really good to like just great to watch. You know,
You
I want
okay?
what?
You getting a little excited? You're right.
Okay, you can't see below my waist. That's good. But
little chub down there.
yeah. Oh
But
no.
the negative, he
Oh, no,
hasn't played a full season. Even last year, he got hurt towards the end of end of the year,
Yeah.
and that is the only troubling part about Dalvin Cook.
He finally avoided the major injury last year. Like you said, he played the majority, played 14
Besides the
games.
holdout, sorry.
Besides the whole.
Played 14 games, missed the last 2. All right, so he avoided that major injury that's kind of derailed him the previous years. But it's still concerning that he did get hurt once again and had to miss some time. He is maybe one of the most injury-prone guys in the league at this point. I know we don't like projecting injuries and all that stuff, but at some point, like just like with Will Fuller, like it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
And so it's hard when you're talking about all these other guys that you have a choice of in the first round. He is the one guy that's missed a lot of time due to injury.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess here's the fair question. If you are drafting number 5, and let's say, I mean, McCaffrey, Saquon, Zeke, Kamara, okay. Do you consider Thomas there
I think you have to.
at number 5 over Cook?
I think Thomas was so good last year. He was miles ahead of the next wide receiver, especially if you play half or full, especially full PPR. He's going to lead the league in receptions.
Oh,
he's going to get
yes.
he's going to get close to 150 catches just like he did last year. I mean, he performs as a top running back, as a number 1 receiver. Like he's going to be there again. He's probably the most safe pick you can think of just because of the offense he's on and Drew Brees, the way they run the offense. Like, he's not going to bust. He's going to be there. So I think right around 5, maybe even 4 is when you start considering Michael Thomas.
Yep.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Specifically Ryan, because this is his rankings we're going off of. And I was surprised when you told me we're doing Dalvin Cook right now, because I have Cook ranked ahead of Kamara, and that's kind of been the whole offseason conundrum, I guess, is whether you take Kamara or Cook. Those have been the typically 2 running backs you're deciding between. So why?
I think
Dalvin
Kamara
Cook
bounces back next year. He had kind of, I mean, he still finished running back 13, so it wasn't bad. But he had an off season last year of where he was drafted number 3 last year. He's gonna get more carries if he stays healthy. He's on a better offense, a better team. He's gonna catch more passes. Like,
Are they a better offense? They lost Diggs.
No.
Yeah,
I'm saying the Saints are a better offense than the Vikings.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's why I like Kamara better than Cook. But I mean, I have him at 6.
Yeah.
We're pulling teeth here. They're very close.
No, but usually you're deciding between those 2 guys, like in this spot of the draft.
I think in this case,
in your case at least, because you have
it's
Henry.
trending. Like we talked about it so much in these rankings, but if you have a choice, especially in running backs nowadays with the half and full PPR, if you have a choice between a guy, now Cook is still going to catch passes, so this argument doesn't apply as much as most of the time we do this. But you're talking about Kamara. He's a top PPR guy. He caught 81 passes last year while missing some games. He's going to get close to 90, 100 catches. So if you can get those extra points are huge, especially when you consider what kind of offense he's on. So that's why I have Kamara ahead of Cook, but I have them ranked right next to each other. They're very close.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert, next video.
Dalvin Kamara. Yeah, I guess. I just think Cook, because I'm more worried about Latavius Murray with Kamara than I am Madison with Cook. I don't think Madison's going to steal as many carries from Dalvin Cook as
Murray is definitely going to be more of a factor than Alexander Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kamara he's more explosive. He can put the touches he's.
Yeah.
But let's go back to Dalvin Cook. This is a Dalvin Cook video.
Yeah, if Dalvin Cook, I see what the point you're trying to make, Matt, but if Cook didn't have the injury history like he does, I would side with you 100%. But the injury history, like even last year, he still didn't finish the full season. So
it reminds me of another question.
If Cook had shown me 3 full healthy seasons, I'd have him right there with Zeke, like I would.
Okay,
they're same player. They're almost the same player.
I was going to ask if all the top 10 running backs that are being drafted in the top 10 play a full 16 games, where does Cook go? If I'm guaranteeing 16 games of everyone.
I'll probably take him 4.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's a toss-up at 4. Yes, it's him and Kamara.
Okay, yeah. But he gets a bump up then.
Yeah, he gets a bump up in my mind. Like I said, I don't like to, and you said it before, you don't like to project injuries.
Well, I guess
but at some point, when you
yeah.
talk about these players like Cook, and I used Will Fuller as an example, that have literally been hurt every season,
you have to find ways
to factor that in because it is a concern.
Okay.
All right, so Dalvin Cook, solid first rounder. He's going to be very good this year. He is our 6th ranked running back, number 7 overall. We out.
We out.
We out.
You finished that quest, Britt?
Mm-hmm.